Okay, this is a basic introduction to Ricochet. Ricochet is a bow stroke where you're going to drop the bow on the string and then sort of let it lightly bounce on its own. You're not actively bouncing. Usually, there's a drop, and it's on a down bow, and then you letting it bounce a certain amount of time. Sometimes it's 1, 2, and then usually there's an up bow that follows it that you actually have to push up. So the bounce back is always, there's the drop note, that's 1, and then it depends on how many bounces you want. So sometimes it's just 1, 2, so it's you drop it, and then it bounces, and then you push up. That would be like 2 ricochets. 1, 2, and then up. Sometimes it's 3, so it's like 1, 2, 3, up. So you're like drop it, and then it bounces 2 more times, because the first one's always the drop. So it's drop, bounce, bounce, up. Sometimes it'll be 4 and then up. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you push up. So that would be drop, or that I just did 3 that time. So 4 would be drop, 2, 3, 4, up. Da 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 up. Da 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 up. Just depends on whatever it's calling for in the music. So to sort of get started with Ricochet, and you have to kind of experiment. You have to spend a little time experimenting with how hard or light you have to drop the bow and where in the bow. So you have to, and it's related to also how fast you're playing. But I would start with just a little experimentation. And what we're going to do is you're going to play just your third finger and your highest string. So I'm on a viola right now, so I'm on a D, but it'd be A if you were playing a violin. And do it to experiment by taking your first finger off the bow. So it's just going to be like a pivot. Let's just do 1 drop, drop. Let's get the drop. So it's like you release the bow, drop, and then let's just let it bounce up. Kind of pull it away from the string. And experiment with that 1 note. So your first finger's off the bow. So your bow's kind of floating. So you can get just 1 note with a good sound. So I'm experimenting with where to do it in the bow. I'm going a little higher now. Okay, so I've got 1, that's the drop note. Let's do down, up. So my first finger's still off the bow. So you have to have a good bow hand with the other one. So it's drop and then push it on the up. Oops. So it's not this where I'm pushing down. It's just this is kind of like a feeling thing. It's like riding a bike. Like you have to just feel the balance of it. So get to where you can do down up without scratching or extra sound. Oops, I hit too hard that time. Once you can do down up, then let's do down down, down down, down down, down down. Now down down up. Down, down, up. Down, down, up. Down, down, up. Sometimes I get a scratch because I drop too hard on the first one. So it always kind of have to go from this direction, pivot. Once you feel it, and then let's do 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now let's add the up. 1, 2, 3, up. And we're still finger off. It's hard because if you don't let it hit hard enough or drop with enough weight on the first one, then it won't bounce back. But if you drop with too much weight, then you get the scratch sound. So you have to find that perfect. See that one I hit a little too hard? That was better. So now I'm doing it with the up bow. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I wasn't. I'm sorry. Now I'll do it with the up bow. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. Oops, I let that one out of control. 1, 2, 3, up. 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, so now 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that was a good one. Now let's do the up. 1, 2, 3, 4, up. Da 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 da. Like 1 E and a up. Okay, then you got to go back around and do the whole thing where you do just one. You can put your first finger on lightly. So now we're doing 1 drop down. Then you do down, up, down, up. It should feel a little easier now. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Now 2 downs. Down, 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 down. It's drop, bounce, drop, bounce, drop, bounce, drop, bounce, drop, bounce. Now with the up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. And then it'll be 3 downs, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now with the up, 1, 2, 3, up. Now 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, up. And then if you were going to apply this bow stroke in Kreutzer number 5, we're going to do down, down, up. So it's down, down, up. Ugh, I'm messing up. I messed up when I changed string. So then again, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So down, down, up. I have to practice that, I guess. My earring's caught.